Hi Flosstube, it's Janet with Janet Jabber. I'm coming at you with episode 288. If you're new to my channel, this is Channel About Cross Stitch. I hope you like what you see. Please subscribe, comment, do the YouTube things. If you're a turning friend, thank you so much for coming back to see me this week. I hope you like what you see and enjoy our visit. So let's jump into this. On my trip last week, or 2 weeks ago, when I was in the car with Candy, we were just generally chit-chatting, and I want to share one of our conversations. We were talking about like our cross-stitching and like how we've evolved over time, and this was really cool because I have some of this stuff we were talking about, like things that we'll always have, and like I said, like, I can't see myself not always having like a Mirabilia, and I enjoy my Quakers, and I enjoy doing seasonal stitching. I have fallen in love with Carolyn Manning. They're very therapeutical. Candy mentioned that she stitched one of those with the loss of her mom. She probably put 1,000 stitches in that week. It was just like, just do it. And I was like, yeah, I love Carolyn Manning. It is not my put on the wall kind of stitching, but definitely like something that when I just need to stitch, it is very therapeutical stitching. And I was like, and Candy said, like, you could turn those into pillows. And I was like, I could like never fully finish those and still be happy with the fact that I stitched them. And it got my brain to thinking, like, what other things has your stitching changed in? And this is why I'm telling you this story. I remember 25-year-old Janet, 29-year-old Janet, something like that, falling in love with Paula Vaughn's Quilts of All Season. And I still love this, and I am not getting rid of this book. But I watched Jessie Marie Does Stuff finish one of these, and I was like, oh, I need to get that out and start it, because if you don't start it, you'll never finish it. So I was like, all right, originally I was like, I'm going to do all of these. They're me. I love quilts. I love stitching. It encompassed all of me. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to start the July one. And I got it out and I started it, and this is what I have on it. But I never want to pull this out and stitch it. And I don't know if it's because it's beige on beige. I mean, this is just the shiplap on the back of the wall. But I was like, or is it because the patterns are like that? And it could be. I mean, that's actually, July was freaky. That's the actual month. Is it because it's, I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is I am going to be 54 years old this year, and I need to like allow myself to let it go. So basically, that's what I'm doing. I may come back to that in some time in my life, but currently it's not. And I am going to free this piece. I am going to probably just cut that out. I'll either unpick it or cut it out, because this is a beautiful piece of fabric. I'll probably unpick that. With just unpicking my the 1,000 stitches in my queen. Okay, I'm gonna unpick that. So that is gonna be an assignment I give to myself, not necessarily this week, but I will make myself accountable to you that I come back and show it to you that it's unpicked, not thrown away. I will unpick it. But why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because like sometimes I feel like it needs to be shared, that we allow ourselves to like not read the book if we don't love it, not finish the stitch if it no longer calls to us. It doesn't have to stay in a whip list. It can stay in a whip list. We need to embrace what we are and just have no guilt and no shame in regards to that. And so I'm sharing that with you, that I'm letting that piece go. I am not getting rid of the book because it may come back to me. But that's where I am with that right now. And I wanted to share that with you and I will bring that back to you within probably the next week or two and show you that I did unpick it. And that is that. All right, we're going to get on to what else I do on here. I'm sure you heard the tip tapping in my intro. Somebody wanted to come say hi. All right, I want to remind you that it is a new month. So as a reminder, there is a Happy Mail link in my description box below. So if you would like to randomly receive Happy Mail, please send me, please just fill that out, and I pull Happy Mail from there and send out Happy Mail once a month. How many times can I say Happy Mail in one sentence? I'm flustered because Opie needed over here and the dogs were all tip-tapping, but we're getting back on course. So sometimes you can find other things in my description box. I'm kind of working on it and trying to like work it over because it was kind of stagnant, but we'll see where that goes. I also want to share, I was reached out to by Amy, Mrs Flossy, on the YouTubes. She lives down in Arizona, and I'm going to read off to you. She has a retreat going on in September this year, and she still has openings. So she asked me to give her a shout out so people could know about it. So this is what it is. It's her first retreat ever. It's September the 19th through the 21st in Tempe, Arizona. The cost is $275. I'm going to put her website here, and I will add it to my description box. It is stitchflossy.com. She has opening spots. The hotel is 5 minutes from the attic for shopping. There is going to be retreat gifts. They're going to have an aloha night with Polynesian entertainment. So it sounds like fun. Sounds like a lot of fun, actually. So that is that going on. So if that's something that you could see yourself going to, go check it out. Everything and everyone is up here. Dogs are tip-tapping everywhere. Cat just jumped over here. We all know he likes to try to mess with my stuff. All right, so next thing on the list that I love to share here is my featured friend. So this time it is Donna, and I'm excited to share her piece. She showed an autumn piece on here before. This is her winter one, and she tells me we are going to be seeing spring and summer, so bring it on, Donna. This is winter. Winter piece by, it's a lovely winter sampler that she got off of Etsy. It's a Cute Patterns by Maria. It is 75 by 93, stitched on 14 count Mirage. It's DMC. It has a little bit of back stitching. She started it in January 16th, and she finished it on February the 9th. I love the fabric color, and I love all the winter symbolism that it encompasses. I think it is perfect. And thank you so much for sharing that, Donna. I love it. So I look forward to seeing what spring and summer also look like. Those are, you tempt me with those, really, you really do. So with that, we're going to get into what I have got going on this week. Oh, no, wait. I'm all flustered with these animals. If you have something you would like to share, please send it to janetjabber@gmail.com. I'd love to share that on here. So just get it sent this way and we will add it on. So with that, we were going to get into what I stitched on this week. I have a finish of mine, a finish that I'm moving on, and then some of my other stitching. So a finish that I am calling a finish is my Sunny Sunflower. This will be finished into a drum. You've seen it really close last time, and I'm calling it a finish for me because there's supposed to be some words. This is like supposed to say 20 something. The chart says 2014 and my work, and I don't want to put anything there. I toyed with like moving like a couple of these down or putting my husband and my initials, but I just did something with my husband and my initials. So and you don't even see it in the picture when it's in a form of a drum. So, and I really want this to be a drum. So that's what this looks like, and I'm super happy with how it turned out. I feel like I am waiting for the avalanche to happen. The cat's tail's all like everywhere. It's a hot mess here today, people. Okay, this is Sammy J's. I am in the Tiny Town Round Robin, and this is Sammy J's Tiny Town of the Patriotic Tiny Town. I finished my part of it, and now I send this on to Sarah, my Stitching Kingdom. And this is what it looks like. Oh, that needle minder's kind of in the way. Let me fix it. And the part that I stitched is down here. So I believe one more section, and this is done. So Sarah, if you're watching this, it'll be headed out to you this week. That round robin is getting really close to being done. The next thing that I stitched on is my Queen of Freedom. My Queen of Freedom is looking like this. Again, still on target to be working on her for a finish for my retirement date. She was a struggle this week, but that is okay. I am bringing her up here to show you. Let me put her on the board. Basically, I worked more in this color here. So I finished up that and down in here. And now I was working in here also. So I should be finishing up here, and we'll see. So I have like here. I'm telling you, I feel it. She is coming along. The next thing, I work on this every day that I work. I work a little bit on Sampler Season Spring by Blueberry Ridge Designs. Again, as a reminder, Coloris on the outside is and then I'm pulling the 4 colors from that. I made my border meet. I almost showed you the back side of it. I did accomplish that, and I'm still working on the border, but this is the Coloris, and then the vine is one of the greens, and the leaves is going to be another one of the greens. I'm loving how that's looking, and then there's like big flowers. If you can see, you can kind of see. It's kind of rough to kind of tell, but there's going to be a dark pink and a light pink flowers that go around that, but I'm plugging along still at the border. I love it. I love this piece. I love the colors, and it is definitely feeling spring. And spring is in the air for sure. I have at work, my geese are on their nests, and they're like, it's so cute when I go by them, and they're hunkered down, and they're letting you know this is it. They're everywhere. That's a sign of spring in my world that I will definitely miss once I retire at work. And in my yard, I planted 200 tulip bulbs, and they are starting to like pop out of the earth. And my granddaughter this weekend was like going around and looking at them. It was so cute. So Maps of Hawk Run Hollow. This is just a paper copy that I made. Again, I'm modifying it, and you're going to see I'm just like pulling things in, and it is starting to come together, and I am loving what this is looking like. So I have no idea how close I am to a finish. We'll discover that together. This is what it's looking like. This is what I'm calling an end. So since you've seen it last, I feel like this was done already. I definitely put these fishies in and this boat in. I extended this. You can barely see this little shoreline of like a sand shoreline. That fish is so huge. It cracks me up. That's how big it is on the chart. Actually, it was bigger on the chart, and I squished it to make a long, skinny guy. I think I'm going to put another fish here. That fish, or that boat, that's how big it was on there too. So, I mean, some of it's just kind of, I don't know, weird, but whatever. I love the colors. I love how it's looking. Yeah. We'll see how it gets. How it keeps going. Again, I'm going to keep plugging away with that. And then I had 2 new starts. I was hoping to have them finished before I got here, but this weekend was just rather kind of busy for us. So I had a new start that's super close to a finish. It'll be finished when I show it to you next. This is the little Birds Calendar Marches version for the little Stitcher. I am so close. You're going to be like, really, Janet? So close, but it'll be done next time. And this next one usually is a start and a finish for me also. I just like to get these started. Little Tiny Smalls, Quirky Quaker. You're going to be like, again, it'll be finished when I see you next. It'll be finished probably this afternoon. He just needs his little border. I just ran out of time. And last but not least, again, this next block will 100% be finished by the time I see you next, and maybe the next one started. This is my next square on my butterfly Afghan. I did get all the back stitching done on it. It is so, to me, wild. So the back stitching around the edges are wild, but you don't think the back stitching in here is going to make a difference, but it really does in a weird way. But so if you remember from other blocks on here, you have to do those 2 lines and words. Like, not everyone has it. I gotta double check. Why does that one not have it on the bottom? But most of them have the 2 lines in there. Why does that one not have 2 lines at the bottom? I gotta double check that Monarch one that wasn't supposed to have lines on the bottom. Now that has me freaking out a little bit. Did I not finish that one? All right, regardless, I'll investigate that one because I think every other one does. Oops. I'll revisit that one later. All right, that is my stitching in regards to that. I feel like this is a super quick video. I don't know what's going on. It's a new month. So with the new month, I have plans. I have my Whip Go and my Sammy J's Whippagory. So the Whip Go, I put the alphabet on the board this month or this year. So the calls for me were J and D. So J, I don't have any charts that are J. So I was like, Just Dance. I really want to work on my Taylor Swift piece that's called the Eras Tour. So I put Just Dance so I could do Taylor Swift. And then for the D, Dog's Declaration, I am working on that every single month anyway. So I just slid that in as also another one. So that's Ink Circle's Dog Declaration that will be worked on. And then for Sammy J's categories, there is paper, which I am using the Hawk Run Hollow because I really want to keep that moving along. I would love to see that finished this month. Fancy Lady, I didn't want to put Charlotte away yet, so that works for me. 30 colors or more, Butterfly Afghan 100% has that. So I'm doing a lot of double dipping because I just want to move these things along. A whip that's older than 2 years would be Christmas Gingerbread Village. Again, another whip that I have been touching every single month to move them along this year. And last but not least, Florals or Faunas. And that is, I am choosing Posy Shoe, which I was supposed to stitch for cats. I was supposed to stitch it for Ymir running the marathon, and I didn't get a chance to stitch it last week when she was running. So I'm going to put some love into it for this month. So that is going to happen. And that's that. So, and then it's going to leave a lot opening because I just I feel like this last month moved by really, really quick. I don't have any scheduled things, but I have a lot going in my head. I have a lot of moving parts that are as I get ready for retirement or spring. I just knew that I needed to kind of be kind to myself in the month of April as I'm opening the house up for spring. Spring is coming. Let's be kind to myself in regards to my stitching. So that's what we're choosing to do. And you should do it to yourself too. So there's that. Now, one of the things I talked about here last time was community tips. And thank you for all of the love that I got in regards to that. I'm going to continue doing that on here. So my community tip right now continues to be kindness. And one of the things that I have seen little kids do is painted rocks to where and I discovered one on my walk, which was so cute. And I left it, but I spotted it out of the corner of my eye at a park bench. And it's just it's a painted up flat rock and it has a little kind saying on it. Sometimes they're biblical. And it puts a smile on your face to know that little kids are having happy craft times and then they're spreading joy by doing that. So something that you can think about doing, or just, taking notice that other people are out there doing kind things. So there is that. And then as far as a personal life this week, this is a super short video this week. This last week was the anniversary of my daughter's adoption day. I had Lizzie out of wedlock. And then when I met my husband and we got married in 2011, and then 6 months later, he adopted Elizabeth after we went through the process of doing all the things in regards to the laws and the procedures and whatnot. So 13 years later, we still celebrate that. It is a big deal for her and him. We went out to a hot rod and car show, and then we went out to lunch together. I have a couple of pictures I'm probably showing here, a picture of them, a picture of the grands. It was a good day. And then the grandkids also were given a little Power Wheel car from their parents to where they were out enjoying the weather. So we did that. I was running along. They were having a good time. It was a great Sunday together. Actually, by random weirdness, we saw all three of our kids on Sunday. And that was, it was just completely random that happened. And it was so kind of cool. Spotting of all three kids out in the wild on the same day. So that's what I have. I know this video is shorter than normal and a lot more background noises, and I apologize for that. We got off to a different kind of start today, but we just take it as they go right now. So I hope you're having a great week and getting some stitching done, enjoying your life. So please keep stitching, enjoy life, and I'm sending you so much love. Bye.